Hey everybody, it's Darren with the Monday message for Monday, November 30th, 2020. Let's start out with some NorCal notes. In our NorCal notes this week, again, we don't have any birthdays or anniversaries to celebrate, but we certainly have had quite a few holidays. Thanksgiving and coming up is Christmas. So again, a reminder to make sure that everyone meets with your colleagues and your managers so we all know who's going to be off and when, so that we can cover all things that need to be done during the holidays. Now, we also have some very exciting news I want to get into here, and I want to announce the hires of our two new positions that we've had open for a while now, looking for just the right person for each. We have the TV executive producer and the radio executive producer, and so I want to announce some hires today. First off, Paul Swenson. Paul is going to be the new TV executive producer. Paul has been working as the series producer of KQED's Check Please program that I think we're all familiar with. He's also the producer of Joanne Weir's Plates and Places on PBS stations nationwide, and works on a variety of feature film projects with his own production company. Paul lives here in Santa Rosa. He's very familiar with KRCB over the years, and we're thrilled to have him on board. So Paul is going to start tomorrow, December 1st, getting his feet on the ground and understanding what's going on, so that in the new year we can get off to some great, wonderful projects under his leadership. On the radio side, the radio executive producer, I'd like to announce Chris Lee has been hired as the new radio EP. Now Chris, some of you already know, and we'll get to that in a minute, but I want to talk about his background. Chris has been the senior director at Harmonic, working on open source news production systems, and he was also the news director at Cron TV, which is very interesting. That was during the whole period where the network affiliations were all moving around in the Bay Area, and Cron TV was sort of the left out in that musical chairs reorganization, and Chris helped Cron learn and understand how to do more news and do more local news and more targeted news during that time. So it's a really interesting background. As well, he's worked for Sony in their newsroom systems division, and a variety of other great jobs as well. I don't mean to cut it short, but Chris has had a wonderful career, and for those who know him, it's because Chris has been consulting with us for quite a while. Nancy and I first started talking to Chris a couple of years ago about reimagining how news could be delivered by a small, mighty public radio station in Sonoma County. And Chris has worked with us on developing that plan over the years. And then also on our radio expansion project for the signal, trying to figure out how we can expand that signal. And Chris has been very helpful in those endeavors as well as helping to get 91.1 back on the air. As a consultant, Chris coordinated all of the vendors and the work that needed to be done to get that done, and did it very well. So anyway, we're thrilled to have Chris Lee on board, and Chris is actually going to start after the turn of the year in January. But between now and then, he'll be meeting with staff and getting to know people and making sure he understands what everybody's up to, where we're going, and what we need to do in the future as well. So there's some exciting news for two new hires. Also some reminders, timesheets. Please note that the current pay period ends today, November 30th. So please have your hours recorded and your timesheets ready for your manager's approval by the end of the day today, 5 p.m. Now payday will be on Friday, December 4th. And as always, please let Katira know if you're having any problems or have any questions about getting your timesheets done. On the fundraising front, we are in the middle of the TV pledge drive right now. It started on Friday. We're doing very well. So it runs through December 6th, but we've already raised $22,000 over this past weekend, which is a really good start to the pledge drive for TV. Now, Radio Pledge is going to run from December 5th to December 12th. And Mark and Cindy and Wendy and Anthony have been working really hard to get a bunch of pre-recorded breaks done for Morning Edition, All Things Considered, and a number of other programs. And of course, Brian and Doug are getting ready with their phone guests and all of the great gifts we're going to have, getting ready for their live shifts to raise money during that time. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that we can hit that $15,000 mark that we have for radio. Also, we have the National Day of Giving, which is tomorrow, December 1st. Now, we've participated in this for the past couple of years, and although we don't have a goal for this because we're always in the middle of fundraising for TV and radio when this comes up, I wanted to give you a little bit of perspective on the past. So, last year at this time, in 2019, we raised $800 for the Day of Giving. But we had a special radio Day of Giving as part of the California Public Radio Consortium in May of this year, 2020. And we did quite well then, about $2,900, and we were able to take that money and put it into the FM drive when it came up earlier this year. So, you know, we have a pretty good track record there. We'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that we do quite well this year with the Day of Giving. With all of these fundraising messages floating around, it's difficult to focus on that one, but we're going to do our best with some email blasts. We're going to have a piece on the website and be letting people know. So also look for the social media on that so that you can share it with your friends and family and folks to make sure they participate as well. And there are a couple folks in the organization who have done their own personal fundraisers for either birthdays or anniversaries or things that are coming up, and honoring the Day of Giving for KRCB as well. So I thank you very much to all the folks who are doing that, the employees who are doing that on their own on Facebook and social media. One last thing I want to let you know about. You know, a number of months ago, I announced that we had set up a free little library outside on the edge of the fence out there on Carlson, which is the name of the road that goes by the parking lot here. And you know, it took it a few weeks to get off the ground, but I think once all the neighbors in this new little neighborhood kind of figured it out and understood what was going on, and they knew that they could take a book, they could return books, they could donate books, it really has started to take off. And Maria has just been working every week to make sure that it's stocked, because the books are flying off the shelves, as they say. And it's so thrilling that folks around here in these housing developments and apartment complexes are utilizing that, and I'm so glad that we did it. So we have a lot of books because we were running out of books that we already had in the building, and then Sean, when he moved, he donated a whole heck of a lot of books. So we have a bunch on the shelves, but I predict within a couple of months we're probably going to run through those as well. So if you have any used books that you no longer want and you want to get rid of, you can donate them here, and we'll put them on the shelves in the volunteer room, and then Maria will filter them out to the free little library as needed. So it's been a good little project. I'm very proud of it, and I'm proud of what it says about us as a neighbor in this area. So anyway, I just wanted to update you on that. And that's about it for this Monday message. Stay tuned to email in case anything comes up, and also you'll see today Katira sent out an email about the Kaiser open enrollment period from December 7th to December 16th. So make sure that you read that and understand what you need to do for that. All right? So stay safe, stay strong, work together, and I'll talk to you soon.